Hello, YouTube. Zach Nafinakite here, and I do believe Sean Brennan has officially pulled a George Lucas. What does that mean? Well, actually, just another one of my smart-ass remarks is all it is. But yeah, this might be old news. Maybe a lot of you don't really know or care. I didn't at first either, but he had this post on his Instagram where he said something to the effect of, if you're going to use London After Midnight's music, the least you could do is use the most current and now versions of the song, which I thought was totally ridiculous. She knows what I'm talking about. Not to mention, I actually went out of my way just to buy the oldest version of Selected Seeds from the End of the World, just because I like that version of the songs. Well, except for maybe Black Cat. Just because the newer version has deeper vocals. He sounds more like a goth and less like whatever the hell Robert Smith was trying to be. I just don't get what the fuck he was. And don't get me wrong, he's one of my favorite musicians. Towards my late teens, early 20s, him and like four other bands were all I ever used to listen to. Him and Rosetta Stone, Sisters of Mercy, and Nosferatu were the shit. I'd put on any one of those CDs ever while I was in the kitchen making barbecue chicken drums, for God's sake. I'd be eating that with garlic bread, me with the boys, playing some GoldenEye. It was just good, clean fun. And the thing is, he took the reverb out. The one of very few reasons his music even counts as goth. Not that you need very many, of course. And he yoinked it. It'd be one thing if he just, lowered it a little bit. That's whatever. I guess he just didn't like the way that it sounded or whatever. But no, it's he'd rather it sound like a studio than a cave, for whatever reason. And it's his music. It is what it is. I can't say I agree with it. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't agree with as far as his political stance, especially. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an activist either way, but yeah, it's just, what the fuck, bro? Don't you have any reverence for where you began? It's like you're spitting in your own face. Not to mention, don't get me wrong, this could also have been a hell of a lot worse than anything that, especially Andrew Eldritch, has ever said about his fans. He's over there speaking German like, oh, it's a bit daft, isn't it? The golf scene, I mean. And that's how he says it, too. He doesn't even say goth with a... He says it with a... as if to fuck you, That's going to be fun to edit. It's your choice, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, you fuck the pooch here or nothing, but I don't see why it's that big of a deal to you. Maybe it is, maybe... Like, I have this CD from back when the case was purple. That's how old this thing is. I went out of my way. I think it's still on Amazon even to this day. But, yeah, it's like, dude, we're still allowed to listen to the, and maybe, obviously he's not, overstepping his own bounds or whatever. He's not saying that you can't, listen to it, in your own home or nothing. He's not trying to dictate your life here. I'm just saying, like, what's so wrong about using the older songs? They still sound really fucking good, okay? If you'll forgive me for stroking your ego a little, man, like, come on. Come on, man. I'm having a Joe Biden moment here, just trying to think of what the fuck what's the deal? These songs were a lot of people's initiation into the whole goth thing. Thankfully, there was no, hanging from a bridge, hazing type shit or whatever the fuck, nobody drank each other's blood, I hope. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I guess I'm just, yeah, it's whatever if you feel that way about your own shit, I can't say I'm very fond of all my older videos, I didn't know dick when I was recording those. But I definitely don't agree with a whole lot of the things he's ever, done or said, but I guess it was just a different time back then. You know, politically especially, you know, this was a time back in the 80s and 90s when people weren't throwing hatred at you. They were throwing Bibles at you just because, you know, you look a little too weird, a little too even androgynous to a point, you know. I definitely don't do that much anymore as far as that. But, you know, even if you do, it's all because of the music. And that music, it's how it all began. So, if nothing else, you know, it would have been nice if you could have at least included, like, oh, hey, it's whatever if you want to pay tribute. Because that's all it really is, okay? I love the older shit, and it just blows my mind that you think for whatever reason that, and I know he's not going to see this, you know, he doesn't care. Even as far as, you know, me talking shit about Jake Monroe all that time, you know, yeah, I know even if he has seen my shit, he's obviously never going to, you know, talk to me about it. You know, he's never, a lot of people are too chicken shit to do it just because I call you out. Speaking of which. We. Good Luna. We've got our differences, but he really is a good dude. All things considered, because there was even a time where I unboxed this shirt on my channel, you know. He had like a limited edition run of the Love You to Death London After Midnight band shirts with the skeleton art on the back. Those things look damn fucking cool. And I didn't just get one, I got fucking two. Because I gained weight, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Plus, they just didn't have my size, actually. They were all out of larges, so I just got an XL because I want to feel like I'm wearing a blanket. Which I'm not, by the way, just for clarification. He's a little weird, you know, which I know that narrows nothing down, you know, knowing me especially, but I just wish like shit he would have taken into consideration how many people he's going to be peeving with all this. Like, oh, hey, you know, just use the updated shit, you know, you got to use the current shit. It's not obligatory. Okay, and I'm sure, not that I want to start any shit, but just imagine if we all just, for the sake of flipping him off for a change, we actually just, not boycott him, but immediately start using all the older shit just to prove how fucking good it is to us, if nothing else, the fans. That might get his attention, but then again, so would chewing on a pork chop, but, you know, it kind of just is what it is. Maybe this video is more of a rant than a statement, I guess. It's just, it blows my mind that for whatever reason, I don't know if he's just losing faith in himself or what, but yeah, it's just, you gotta honor where you're from, you know, you gotta, that's why I'm so close with my parents now even, because you just gotta appreciate, if nothing else, how it all began, you know, the origin of everything. Because if you don't have history, then what the fuck do you have? You got nothing. That album was history. A lot of his older albums are all part of goth history, musically. And since goth is a music subculture, that's all the more reason to give his older work a listen. Because the newer stuff, even, you know, he's got not only the remastered stuff now, but he's also got newer stuff coming out in the works. I fear for his fans. I really do. Thankfully, this is nowhere near as cringe-tarded or as awful as it could be. You know, he's not throwing feces at anyone like G.G. Allen or some shit. Not that he's goth either, but it just feels wrong. I mean, he's obviously not, you know, throwing bottles like Peter Murphy or nothing either. You know, this could be so much worse, but even if it's not, you know, this is, yeah, no. So maybe you're on the fence about this, maybe you're not, maybe you're like me, and you just think it's one of the most egregious things ever. No, it's not that serious. You know, if we survived COVID, we can survive reverbless goth music. It's gonna be tough, but just bite the bullet. And if you like, please like. Feel free to share obscure little thoughts in the comments below, as well as to share the video itself. Subscribe if you wish to see more. Don't forget to hit the bell if you do. And as always, thank you so very much for watching, and I love you all.